Welcome into the Chiefs Report, live on YouTube, live on Rumble. I'm your host, Harrison Graham, and today's show is presented by our friends over at Manscaped. Halloween is here. You don't want to be looking spooky downstairs when things are getting gnarly, so go to Manscaped and get the best men's grooming products out there. Manscaped.com, promo code Chiefs. That is for 20% off plus free shipping. Code Chiefs at manscaped.com. All right, shout out your city. Tough loss yesterday, but we're here for a therapy session. You know, I'll get further into this. I'm not feeling too bad after yesterday. I'm not, and I'll explain further why I feel that way here in a little bit. Tony Fuentes in Dallas. We got Matt Rader in Tennessee. Go Vols, baby. The biggest Saturday in Knoxville since 1998, Matt, so congratulations to you. I thought my TCU double overtime comeback win over Oklahoma State was fun. I can't imagine what that was like. We got JJ in Tigard, Oregon, Dale Webb, Hagerstown, Maryland, Rollo Brown live from Vegas, Jeremiah, Palmer Lake, Colorado. Mike is in Yukon, Oklahoma. We got Smits in Denmark. What's up? Let's see. Michael and Frederick, Jimmy in Topeka, Cole Keller in Wichita. We got Jelly the Killer in Kansas City. Ben Dover, nice, in Blue Springs, Missouri. Let's see. Curtis says Ogden, Utah. We got Jason, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Where have you been to Ogden, Utah?
No, I've been to Sioux Falls,
Sioux
South
Falls.
Dakota.
Okay. Producer Trace hanging out today. I bet you're happier covering the Chiefs right now than the Bears. Chiefs are more fun to watch week in and week out, I must say. It's tough watching the Bears sometimes. That game on Thursday, that was brutal. But I'm a loyal one. Hello from Olympia, Washington from Simone. So what's up? Michael in Springfield, Illinois. We got Ronald out in Florida. Riley's in Rumford, Maine. Rochester, New York from Rob. And then Glen Area, New Orleans, Louisiana. Philip in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Dale Webb Jr. He says, what's up, Producer Trace?
What's up, Dale? What's up, my man?
Producer Trace. His Arkansas Razorbacks got back on the horse this weekend. Took down
them BYU Cougars.
Took down the Mormons out in Utah. So
take down them storming Mormons, baby.
There you go. They stormed in. Arkansas stormed in there on a hog and dropped 50 on them. So that's how it goes sometimes. All right, how upset are you over the loss to Buffalo? Scale of 1 to 10. 10 being incredibly upset, 1 being not really upset. I'm at like a 3, like back and forth game. I don't think either team played their best, honestly. 24-20. You're down your top 2 corners as starting linebacker. I'm not that upset, if I'm being honest. Riley says 2. Tony says 1. PS4 says 3. JJ says 3. It's not like last year when the Bills blew out the Chiefs at Arrowhead and the Chiefs started 3-4, and you're like, is this team going to figure it out? I mean, we thought they were going to, and they did. But this team's still in a good position. Jelly says 8. Jimmy says 4. Tony 2. Mike Tilson 4. Jeremiah 5. Michael says 4. Rollo 3. Jason 5. I mean, most of you guys 5 or less, and I think that's right. I mean, listen, the Chiefs proved that they can go toe-to-toe with Buffalo. They've proven that for years now. And by the way, until Buffalo wins in the playoffs over the Chiefs, I don't think there's anything to be concerned about. Now, is Buffalo a threat? Are they a problem? Absolutely. I mean, you're going to have to get through them probably at some point to advance in the playoffs. But you go back and forth. You're down 3 defensive starters. You easily could have won the game. I'm not that upset. Like, I don't have major concerns. Philip says 3. Easily 5-1 if we hadn't lost to the Colts. Yeah, you should be way more pissed over losing to the freaking Colts than to Buffalo. Like, seriously, that loss is just, that's a joke to lose to Indianapolis. But, hey, it is what it is. Samoan says 2. I'm not too concerned. Someone says Chiefs really need defense. See, that's the thing. Defense actually played well yesterday. The offense let them down, if anything. So, yeah, we'll expand more during our overreactions cut, but not too concerned. All right, who you got this week? Got to get back on the saddle. Kansas City, San Francisco. Tough little road game. 49ers tend to play up to their competition. Lost to Atlanta last week, but they've had some nice wins too. Type KC for the Chiefs. Type SF for the 49ers. Who you got in this matchup? Go ahead and let us know down in the comments section. You got San Francisco coming up this Sunday, then a bye week, and then Tennessee. So that's kind of where you sit right now on the schedule. J-Jet says Kansas City. So does Cole, Curtis, Tony, J.J. Hackett, Rob Miller, Jelly, Jeremiah, Mike, Michael, Tony Fuentes, Matt Rader. We got Samoan, Rob Miller, Michael Summerfield, Jason, all saying Chiefs Rolo, Preston, a lot of Chiefs coming in, and hey, I'm with you. I think the Chiefs bounce back. We told you after the last loss, this team rarely loses twice in a row. They come out focused. I think, San Francisco at 3-3, they're regretting losing to Atlanta yesterday because now they're going to have an angry Chiefs team coming to town. All right, grade the Chiefs season so far. 4-2, 2 tight losses, some good wins over Tampa. Nice comeback win over the Raiders, blowout against Arizona. So B+. The Chiefs haven't been perfect, but I think when they've played their best, they're still the team to beat. They just haven't found that consistency quite throughout every single game. I'll go B+. I still think the Chiefs are in a good position. Win over the Chargers was nice. Dale Webb says C. Tony says C. Riley B. Smith's B-. Preston B. C+. I think it's got to be at least a B or B-. You're 4-2. The team you just lost to is the other good team in the AFC, and you lost in the final minute. The Colts loss is the one that brings the grade down. Had you beaten the Colts and lost yesterday by 4, what would you be saying, right? That's kind of how I view it. Because of that loss, though, it can't be an A. But if the Chiefs were 5-1 with a 4-point loss to Buffalo, I'd probably say A-. I mean, that's as close as it gets to being 6-0. Curtis says B. Samoan A-. James says B. So, yeah, I think the Chiefs have a lot to build on and, room for improvement before the playoffs get here. All right, a couple of mailbags coming up today. So use hashtag Chiefs. I've already seen a few questions coming there. Donuts, you got to use the hashtag Chiefs right away. Don't use hashtag Space Chiefs. Otherwise, your question won't get picked up. Hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get your questions on the show. If you use the Super Chat function, you will jump to the top of the line. So use the Super Chat function or hashtag Chiefs, and we will get to your questions coming up here in a little bit. If you're ready for the real show to start, like the video. We'll talk about some overreactions, some rumors following the Chiefs' loss to the Bills on Sunday. Like the video if you're ready for the show to really get started here, and we'll get started here in just a second. So hit that like button if you love the Chiefs, if you're ready to get into it. Someone says MVS got to catch that 50-50 ball. I'm kind of with you. At worst, that should go incomplete. For it to get picked off, he's 6'3". I mean, Mahomes threw it up. The defender was able to kind of snatch it from him. So that was disappointing. So like this video, got a lot to cover here on today's Chiefs Report. So once producer Trace is ready to rock, shout out Dale, Tony, JJ for all liking the video, and we will get going here in just a second. Here we go. Chiefs Report Live coming at you here on today's show. All right, Chiefs Kingdom, before we jump into today's show, how upset are you over the loss to Buffalo on Sunday? Scale from 1 to 10. 1 being you're not upset at all, 10 being you are livid, you are pissed, you can't believe it. I'm at like a 3 if I'm being completely honest to you. I thought the Chiefs played them close. I was impressed with the defense. You were down 3 defensive starters, still held them to 24 points. Clean a couple things up on offense, especially that offensive line. I think this team will be just fine. Bills still got to go through Kansas City in the playoffs, by the way. Scale it from 1 to 10, and let's jump into today's show. Today's Chiefs Report is presented by Manscaped. Halloween is here, and no one likes being revealed with a scarecrow downstairs. No, clean it up with Manscaped's men's grooming products. 20% off plus free shipping with code Chiefs. Manscaped.com. Go check it out. We'll tell you a little bit more about them later on in the show. Overreaction Monday coming at you following that loss to the Bills on Sunday afternoon. Another great game, by the way. I mean, listen, if the Chiefs and Bills could play every week, I think the entertainment would be out of the roof. But obviously that's not how this works. For the second straight year, Bills beat the Chiefs in the regular season. Last year was a blowout. This one was much closer. The late touchdown for Josh Allen, the difference of this one, we know Mahomes threw a pick late to help seal the win for Buffalo. But again, I told you guys off the top, I'm not that worried. I think there was a lot of good that came out of this game. The defense showed up and played well. There was just some minor details that went Buffalo's way, and that ended up being the difference in this one. I'm not too worried overall. But there are overreactions and rumors to hit coming out of this game, so let's do so right now on the Chiefs Report. All right, Overreaction Monday storyline number 1. How about trading for Christian McCaffrey? The Panthers certainly could be going into a fire sale. They traded Robbie Anderson earlier on Monday after that whole debacle where he got kicked off the field by his own coaching staff. And, reportedly McCaffrey has been, a subject of trade buzz. Reports out there that Carolina has been getting calls on Christian McCaffrey. Also a report out there that they want multiple first-round picks. Multiple first for a running back? I like McCaffrey. No shot. Like, if you're Carolina and you're trying to rebuild and the team throws you a first for Christian McCaffrey, don't you take that, right? Like, you're not a year away from contending. You're going to be a couple years away at least, and by the time you are ready, Christian McCaffrey may not be playing a big factor at that point. He's certainly back to being close to himself after missing the last couple of years, basically. He only played in 5 games in 2020 and in 2021 combined, but this year almost 400 rushing yards, almost 300 receiving yards, 3 total touchdowns, and that's with a garbage offense, right? I mean, for Christ's sake, P.J. Walker started yesterday, and that was for an injured Baker Mayfield who has just been playing terribly. So McCaffrey certainly back to being himself, and I love Christian McCaffrey. But I'm not even sure I'd give up a first-round pick, much less multiple. I'm definitely not giving up multiple first. Could you talk me into one first? Maybe. Like, I'd have to really think about it hard, but I'm not even sure I would do that. So I think what it comes down to here is the value has to make sense for Chiefs GM Brett Veach. Does he need to be on the phone checking the value for Christian McCaffrey? Does he need to be seeing what else is out there on the NFL trade market? There's no doubt about it. This is a team that is trying to win a Super Bowl. So if you can help your roster by adding an impact player or two to your offense or your defense, that is certainly something you have to consider. You've got some extra picks, some extra capital from the Tyreek Hill trade to do just that. We'll see what happens between now and the NFL trade deadline on November 1st. We'll talk a little bit more about McCaffrey in a second, but be honest with me. Would you trade just one first-round pick for Christian McCaffrey? Type Y for yes, type in for no. If you get hit with the ad break right here, this will be the pinned comment, so give me a yes or no here on this one. Would you trade a first-round pick for Christian McCaffrey? What I will say is this, and I'd have to think about it more. I'd rather not trade a first. Maybe you could talk me into it. What I would say is this running game could certainly use a lift, right? This running game absolutely could use a boost on its offense. Clyde Edwards-Helaire has been inconsistent. Isaiah Pacheco's been okay as a rookie. Jerick McKinnon has had moments, but there's no doubt Christian McCaffrey would give this backfield a bolstered unit. I don't think anybody would question that at the end of the day. So you could talk me into it, like I said, but as of now, I don't think that I would give a first for McCaffrey, but maybe Brett Veach thinks differently. That's what your girl is going to do if you guys are getting frisky in the bedroom and you don't have things trimmed downstairs. Don't scare her this Halloween season. No one likes scarecrows. Don't show your girl a scarecrow downstairs. Get going with Manscaped by going to manscaped.com and using promo code Chiefs. 20% off plus free shipping. It comes with the Lawnmower 4.0, the best razor on the market, advanced skincare technology. You're going to limit those cuts, those burns downstairs. You get comfortable boxers. The Weed Whacker also will trim your nose and ear hairs. Plus, you get the ball toner, the ball deodorant. It all comes together in this package for 20% off plus free shipping. Use promo code Chiefs when you check out. Link in the description and in the comments of this video. Promo code Chiefs at manscaped.com. 20% off plus free shipping. Did I scare you? Don't scare your girl this Halloween. All right, a little bit more on the running back conversation. I mentioned the inconsistent play. At times, Clyde Edwards-Helaire has looked solid, but we know he's not Christian McCaffrey. I like Isaiah Pacheco's potential, but he is a 7th-round rookie. Jerick McKinnon, he's a scat back. He's not going to be an every-down guy. There's no doubt Christian McCaffrey would provide a lift to this football team. But there's a lot of factors. 1, first-round pick is a lot of capital. 2, his contract is tough. He's making like $16 million per year. We know the Chiefs have a lot of big contracts. There's a reason they traded Tyreek Hill, because they did not want to pay him $30 million per year. So that makes it tough as well. Would Carolina eat some of that money? If they would, you're probably going to have to trade them higher capital. So I don't know. It seems like there's too many hoops to jump through to try and get Christian McCaffrey to Kansas City. I'm open to it. It all depends on value and if the Chiefs can make it work. All right, Overreaction Monday, story number 2. Is Josh Allen the best QB in the NFL, better than Patrick Mahomes? Let's take a breath, guys. This is a classic overreaction after a game, right? This happened last year too, okay? This is a classic overreaction that we see in the NFL. Are they very close? Absolutely. These are the top 2 quarterbacks, and I'm not sure it's even close beyond that. You look at the numbers from yesterday, they were almost identical until the very end of the game. Mahomes 25 of 40, Allen 27 of 40. Mahomes 338 passing, Allen 329 passing. Here's the difference. Mahomes had 2 touchdowns, 2 turnovers, both picks. Allen 3 touchdowns, 1 turnover. That was kind of the difference in the game. Allen threw the late touchdown. Mahomes threw the late pick. Allen was a tick better yesterday. I don't think there's any doubt about that. He deserves credit for that. This guy is a beast. This is the Brady Manning right now in the NFL. I don't think there's any doubt. These are the top 2 guys for this generation. But while Allen has had some playoff success, he's got to prove he can beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. He has been unable to do that. Last year, Buffalo hammered Kansas City in the regular season, and everybody, Mahomes, the Chiefs, the NFL's figured him out. And we saw what happened in the playoff game. He put up 42 points on Buffalo, and they were able to outlast Josh Allen. So Allen has to prove it in the postseason. Now, is this guy a threat? Is he going to be a threat? Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But to say he's dethroned Mahomes, that's an overreaction. Let's not. Even Mahomes and Allen after the game downplayed the significance of yesterday's game. It's week 6. You think Buffalo or Kansas City is worried about a game in early mid-October? No. It's all about January and February for these 2 teams. And in the Chiefs' case, they've gotten to February. Buffalo's, they have not gotten to February. We'll see if the Bills can do it this year, but they've got to prove they are able to do so. Who is the better quarterback? Who would you rather have? Type PM for Patrick Mahomes, type JA for Josh Allen. I'm still rolling with Mahomes. Is it close? Absolutely. But is it still Mahomes? Yeah, you better believe it. I'm typing PM for Patrick Mahomes. Hit that subscribe button here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Appreciate all of our new subscribers that we gained during our watch party, by the way. You've gotten us even closer to 33K, so give yourself a pat on the back if you are a new subscriber. If you haven't subscribed, hit that sub button because we're going to be here all season long here on the Chiefs Report. Daily videos, news, rumors, injury updates, trade buzz for the next couple of weeks leading up to the NFL trade deadline. Join the family here at the Chiefs Report by hitting that subscribe button. All right, overreaction number 3, and this is not overreaction. Chiefs have offensive line concerns, which is a concern. I mean, this is a group that Brett Veach has invested in heavily. I'm a little concerned. The offensive line got worked against Buffalo. There's been problems at times this year already. We've kind of hit on Orlando Brown not playing great. That's kind of continued here. I don't think he's getting top dollar this offseason if this level of play continues. You look at this group right now, and I kind of look from left to right. The only 2 guys where I'm like, yeah, I feel really good about what they're doing right now, Joe Tooney, Creed Humphrey. Orlando Brown, he's had his struggles. He's been very up and down. At times he looks great. Other times he's not quick enough. Trey Smith, he has not played as good this year as he did last year. He's still a solid player, but he's been inconsistent. Andrew Wiley, I'm not going to blame him that much. He's a stopgap guy. We knew he was going to be the weakest link, but only 2 of your 5 guys right now are playing at a good level. That's problematic, especially Orlando Brown. I mean, that's the guy I'm looking at the most right now. It's like, dude, you want to make $25 million per year, and you're playing like an average left tackle. That's problematic. Tooney and Creed Humphrey are the only consistent linemen on this football team right now. 2 out of 5. You were expecting at least 3 with Orlando Brown, the way Trey Smith played last year, 4. I mean, I get Buffalo's front is super good, and I'm not saying you got to mow them down every play, but Patrick Mahomes was running for his life yesterday, guys. Like, you got to be a little better up there. I'm looking at Orlando Brown. I'm looking at Trey Smith. These guys got to be a little bit more consistent. I'm not sure any major moves are coming up there. I don't know if Lucas Niang's going to come back. If he gets healthy, I'd plug him in for Andrew Wiley, but it's a little bit of a concern. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't at least a little bit worried about the big guys up front. Are you worried about the Chiefs' offensive line? Again, I'm not panicking, but I have some concern. Type 1 for yes, type 0 for no. I'll type 1, but it's not a massive worry, but I am a little bit worried. 1 for yes or 0 for no. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Chiefs Report. We will be sure to have you covered with videos all season long. Like I said, we got you covered. Overreaction Monday going to continue throughout the season, so go ahead and hit that sub button. All right, let me know. Are you guys concerned? Jeff Wilson says yes. Cole says yes. So does Mike, Dale, Jelly. Someone says Wiley needs to go. You don't have a better option right now. Niang's hurt, and guys, Darian Kennard continues to be inactive. That means he's not very good. He's a healthy scratch. Like, if they felt good about him, he probably would have gotten a chance to play by now because Andrew Wiley's been very average at best. That's not a good. That doesn't bode well. I think this is a redshirt year for Darian Kennard. I don't think they feel comfortable putting him into a game. Tony says no. Gonzalo says yes. Again, I'm mildly worried. I'm not panicked. I still think this group is good. It's certainly better than what it was, than what we saw in the Super Bowl against the Bucs. Like, it's come a long way since then. But I would also say this group played better last year than it has this year so far. So I think that's a little bit worrisome for Kansas City. All right, you guys' favorite part of the show, it is mailbag time. So get those questions in, hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get your questions on the show. That's hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat. If you Super Chat, you can jump the line. If you use the hashtag Chiefs, that's the second best way to get on the show as well. Already seeing a lot of questions come in. We got Rolo, some questions from earlier. So if you have a question, if you have a thought, use hashtag Chiefs. That way producer Trace can get it on the show. Or, of course, if you want to skip the line, guarantee yourself to get on the show, go ahead and use the Super Chat function. What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? It's mailbag time here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. I am Harrison Graham. Get those questions in by using the hashtag Chiefs or by super chatting, and we will get to as many questions as we can here on today's show. Let's start with Laura Ortiz. How about Terrace Marshall or a DJ Moore trade? I don't have a ton of interest in Terrace Marshall because you plug him in here, and by the way, it's Terrace, not Terrence, but I knew you were talking about Laura. I mean, where does he fit in? He's kind of been an underachieving third-round pick for Carolina from a couple years ago. Is he better than Justin Watson? I don't know. You're not playing him over Sky Moore. Now, DJ Moore, that's a different deal. He comes in, and he's probably your number one. Juju becomes your number two, and everybody else falls into place. DJ Moore trade, very interested. Terrace Marshall, not so much. I think he'd be like wide receiver 5 for this team. Mike Tilson with the question, any chance we could land McCaffrey? Yeah, I mean, we talked about Christian McCaffrey in our News and Rumor show on Monday, Overreaction Monday, and I think there's a chance. Carolina, there's reports they want multiple first. I think they're crazy if they think they're going to get that, but maybe the point is they're only going to trade him if they get wowed. I would think if I'm running Carolina, I would take a first-round pick for Christian McCaffrey, but even then, I mean, do you want to trade a first for a running back? I know McCaffrey's different. He catches a ton of balls. He's also been hurt a lot the last couple of years. He looks back, but 2020, 2021, missed a lot of games. Only played in 5 out of, 33 games? I don't know. It's a bit risky if you're Brett Veach. Jimmy with the question, do you think Justin Ross can be a factor when he comes back next year? I'd love to see that be the case. I mean, I think the kid's working hard. The talent is certainly there, but you're talking about a guy who had a spinal neck fusion or back fusion, whatever it was. He's had, an ACL dating back to high school. He had a foot injury. I mean, the guy has been so many injuries throughout his career, and the neck thing is the most concerning. I mean, he takes one bad hit. Remember that report, only 4 teams out of the 32 even medically cleared him, Kansas City being one of them? That's a low number. I have no expectations. If he becomes a factor, that's great, but you can't operate thinking, by factoring him into the equation. He's icing on the cake, if that makes sense. Like, if he gives you anything, you're like, damn, hell yeah. It's kind of like when they signed Josh Gordon. No expectations. If he gave you something cool, he obviously didn't give you much, but that's kind of how I view Justin Ross. Use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get your questions on the show. Hey, speaking of, Josh Gordon, you want to bring him back? Titans cut him off their practice squad. Apparently, the Chiefs had a spot for him on their practice squad, so that relationship was still good. When he didn't make the 53-man roster, he wanted to pursue a better opportunity, but I'll just say this, guys. The Titans wide receiver group is not that good, and Gordon is getting cut off their practice squad. I hate to say it, I think he's just done. And it sucks to say because how different would his career had been if, the NFL wasn't as harsh on marijuana early on. I think he had some deeper issues than that earlier in his career, and I get all that. But, timing's everything, right? By the time, he was locked in and the rules were more in his favor, he doesn't appear to have it anymore. I mean, it's unfortunate for him. I commend him for continuing to battle back in his career. He could have walked away at any time, but he wanted to play football. I don't think he can play at a high level at this point. Running man, would you rather trade for DJ Moore or sign OBJ? Good question. Depends on the price. If I knew OBJ was fully healthy and was the same exact player that the Rams had in the playoffs last year, I'd rather just do that, even if I think DJ Moore's a little bit better, because OBJ played a huge role on that team last year, and you don't need Superman on this offense, but you could use another solid receiver. DJ Moore is the safer bet because he's healthy, but you also have to trade for him. Maybe you have to trade a first-round pick. So I would prefer to sign OBJ if I know he's healthy. We don't know that, though. We don't know when he's going to be healthy either. Pick a receiver. Who would you rather go out and get? And remember, one you sign, one you trade for. And let me be clear. I think DJ Moore is a better player right now. But you don't have to trade for Odell Beckham. Type DJ for DJ Moore. Type OBJ for Odell Beckham Jr. Let us know in the comments section. Hey, you want to be a part of these mailbags here on the Chiefs Report? Subscribe and join us every Monday at 3 o'clock Central Time. That's when we go live and answer all these questions for you guys here on the show. So hit the sub button, turn on your notifications, and if you want daily videos covering the Chiefs and to be a part of these mailbags, hit that sub button. You'll be taken care of. Dale Webb Jr., would you trade a third for Cam Akers? No. Third? No. I don't even know if Cam Akers is better than what you have at running back. Even if he is, not a third. Fifth, sixth maybe, but nah, no way. Ruthless Monk. I'm sorry, but Marquez Valdes-Scantling has been disappointing to me compared to the money we paid him. Look, I told you guys at the time it was an overpay. Now, with how other receivers got paid, it ended up kind of being a decent deal. But we saw on Sunday the inconsistencies, right? He doesn't have great hands. He's going to drop or – I don't know if it's a straight-up drop in the end zone, but it's a 50-50 ball that gets picked off. He's 6'3", he's the taller player. You would like to see him come down with that. Doesn't have consistent hands. He just doesn't. Never has. Didn't in Green Bay. He's an inconsistent route runner. Now he does some good things too. He'll burn the defense over the top, give you a few home runs every year, but look, they paid him, 3 years, $36 million, which now looks better with how much the wide receiver market exploded. But I'll be honest, I thought he was going to get $6 to $8 million per year, and he got almost double that. Donuts, you're taking on Furious George so far this season. You talking about your take on him? I like George Karlaftis. He's not finishing plays in terms of getting sacks, but he's getting decent pressure. I think as a rookie, he's taking his bumps and he's learning as he goes along. You'd like to see him get home a few more times than he has, but I think there's been moments he's flashed early on this season. What I will say, between him and Carlos Dunlap, the pass rush has been inconsistent. Frank Clark, too. Outside of Chris Jones, it's been very inconsistent. You'd like to get a little bit more pressure. I'll give Steve Spagnuolo credit. He's been starting to dial up more blitzes. BetUS, the place to go if you want to bet on football games all season long. I took the Chiefs plus 2.5, and of course the Bills scored in the last minute of the first half and in overtime. That's the way betting goes sometimes, but it's fun and there's money to be made. Get an account going today at chatsports.com/ChiefsBet and use our promo code Chiefs125. Betting odds are out for this next week, and I'm a little surprised. Chiefs only 3.5-point favorites at San Francisco. It's a road game. Got to go to the West Coast. That does make it tough. So if you want to go bet on this game or any other game in Week 7 or college football, Major League Baseball, NBA is back, go do it with BetUS. Chatsports.com/ChiefsBet. Promo code is Chiefs125. Daddy Dayton, what's up? Do you think we should trade for or sign a corner or wide receiver? I'm still conflicted on the corner situation because, one, I thought the guys battled against the Bills despite not having your top two guys. Josh Williams got beat a couple times, but I think we saw him grow within that game. He was playing better in the second half. And two, you're going to get your two guys back, you hope. Trent McDuffie, I think, will be ready in Week 7. We'll see when Rashad Fenton is back dealing with that hamstring. But if you got those two guys back with L'Jarius Sneed, Jalen Watson comes your number 4 corner potentially, or Fenton, depending on who they like better. And then Josh Williams, your number 5 corner. If everyone's healthy, I don't think you need a corner. Receiver, you could sign Odell Beckham. You could trade for DJ Moore. There's guys out there. I would certainly be open to that. AJ says, who do you want to step up? Offensive line. I want the offensive. Orlando Brown specifically. He's got to be better. You want to be paid $22, $23, $25 million per year? You're not playing like it. He's got to be better. Chiefs could tag him again for only $20 million next year. At this point, like if the season ended now, no way he's resetting the market at left tackle. He would get tagged again, in my opinion. Tony Fuentes, I'm not that disappointed after yesterday's loss, talking about the Bills game, but the Chiefs will bounce back. Yeah. Mahomes and these guys always bounce back. They rarely have 2 bad games in a row. I think Mahomes has lost twice in a row, maybe once in his career. It just doesn't happen. So I'm not concerned. I'm not even disappointed. Look, you got beat by a good team in the last minute of the game. The last minute of the first half and the last minute of the game is what cost you. It is what it is. Bills were situationally just a little bit better. Can the Chiefs still get the number 1 seed in the AFC? Type Y for yes or type N for no. I certainly still think that they can. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Last question on this mailbag. Jelly the Killer, do you think Mahomes is getting overpaid from what he's shown us this year? No, he's leading the NFL in touchdown passes before yesterday. Now he's tied with Josh Allen with 17 each. He's not overpaid. I always get this question, no, he's underpaid. I mean, seriously, I'm not joking about this. If he hit free agency and the Chiefs didn't re-sign him, what would he make? $80 million a year? I mean, you don't think Detroit would go give Patrick Mahomes $80 million a year? Yes. The Bear, all these teams who can't figure out quarterback, he is underpaid. He is not overpaid. Now, sure, he might be overpaid to the public for you and me, but for what he provides to his team, he is an underpaid commodity. That is just a simple fact. All right, appreciate everybody for submitting their questions on this mailbag. Hit the subscribe button. Like we said, every Monday we go live at 3 o'clock Central Time to answer all of your questions. So subscribe to the channel. We'll be here all season long. All right, one more mailbag coming up in just a second. And answer this question to drown out the bots. The sex bots are back. Get them out of there. Can the Chiefs still get the number 1 seed in the AFC? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Get your votes in. I think they still can. Plenty of football left. Obviously, you got to make up 2 games now because the Bills will have the tiebreaker, but they should still have some opportunities. J-Jet says yes. Tony. Cole Keller. We got Potato. AJ. Achilles, Chiefs fan, Daddy Dayton. And you know what? If they don't get it, let's see the Chiefs go up to Buffalo and win in a playoff game. I think they can. Jeff Wilson says no. Chiefs fan says yes. I'm good, Tony. I'm good. Mike Tilson says yes. Lenny, I don't know why you're mad at me. I'm just answering the questions being asked.
Lenny, don't shoot the messenger, bro.
Yeah. Don't blame me. I'm not cooking up these questions. You guys are. All right, speaking of, one more mailbag, hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get your questions on the show. Hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat. Use the hashtag Chiefs, Mr. Big Phil, if you want to ask that question, or you can Super Chat. And let's jump into this for another 10 minutes or so. Welcome into the Chiefs Report. I am Harrison Graham. We are here to answer all of your questions. So use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get on to today's mailbag. Also, subscribe to the channel if you want to be a part of our mailbags every single live show on Mondays. All right, Dale Webb Jr. trade CEH. I'm not opposed. I don't know what his value would be, especially if you were to trade for Christian McCaffrey, for example. Trading CEH would only make sense at that point in time. I mean, what are you going to get, though, a 5th? I guess that's not terrible. I don't think at this point you're picking up his 5th-year option. So definitely think it's a possibility, Dale Webb. I only think it'll happen, though, if the Chiefs make a move for a running back before the deadline. I don't think they'll just trade him and roll with Pacheco, McKinnon, and Ronald Jones. I think they would trade him if they're upgrading at the position. Achilles Coletta's just a comment. Love Mahomes. Hey, listen. Type 15 if you love Patrick Mahomes in the comments. We got his back. Tough loss to the Bills, but as always, he's going to bounce back. Mr. Wick, after Juju's big game, is he ready to ball out for the rest of the season? I hope so. I thought he played really well. Juju looked like, 2-3 years ago, Juju, when he took that slant, broke a tackle, and took it to the crib for a 42-yard touchdown. Had a couple of other nice catches as well. I'd like to get him more targets. He had 5 catches for 113 yards on 5 targets. Let's get him 8. Let's get him 9. Let's see if he can be 100 yards week in and week out. I don't know if he can, but, the only chance he's going to get there is if he gets more opportunities. He caught all 5 he could for 113. So I like that game from Juju. I think he's got a chance to really, really emerge as this top receiver if he isn't already. Will Juju finish the season with over 1,000 yards? Type O for over, type U for under. A little over-under game. I think he's got a good shot to finish with 1,000. That 113 goes a long way. He's had a couple other decent games as well. O for under, or O for over, U for under. Let us know what you guys think. Chiefs fans, should we fix the O-line this offseason? I mean, they kind of fixed it a couple off seasons ago. Guys just aren't playing up to their potential. Orlando Brown not playing to the level we're used to at left tackle. The second half of last year, he was great. First half of last year and so far this year, very inconsistent. Trey Smith, I think, is, maybe it's not surprising as a 6th-round rookie, kind of lightning at a bottle last year. I'd say he's taken a minor step back. He's still good, but at times it's like, oh, yeah, this guy was a 6th-round rookie. Right tackle, again, Andrew Wiley. He's a fringe starter in this league. He's having to play because Lucas Niang's hurt, Darian Kennard isn't ready. So I don't think they need a major overhaul or anything. They just need guys to play better. McQuai Prince, do you think we need another top-end safety, or are we set back there? I think the Chiefs are okay right now. Brian Cook was hurt on Sunday. Justin Reed briefly got hurt and had to check out of that game. I like Juan Thornhill. I think Deion Bush is a reliable backup. I think the Chiefs are fine at safety. Now, maybe this offseason they're going to have to do something with Thornhill being a free agent. Maybe Brian Cook just steps in and becomes a full-time starter. I'm not sure. But I don't think the Chiefs need to, overthink this. I think they're fine at safety. Donuts Harrison, what player could the Chiefs trade for a second-round pick? Who would you go get? I mean, if you could get DJ Moore for a second-round pick, I would do that. I'd do that in a heartbeat. I'd trade a second-round pick for Christian McCaffrey. I don't think I'd trade a first for him, but I'd trade a second for him. Those are a couple of guys. Maybe another pass rusher. You don't have to pay a second for Robert Quinn anymore. You could probably get him for like a 5th at this point. He has not been that productive this year. Nick Yates, where's Kyle Long? He's just hanging out as far as I know. Free agent. I think he's kind of semi-retired again. He came out of retirement, played for the Chiefs last year, never saw the field. So, yeah, I think he's kind of just done. Daddy Dayton, I think McDuffie is going to be a great cornerback when he comes back. Also, WUB for Chiefs Dubs. I think he means sub for Chiefs Dubs. So listen to the man. Hit that subscribe button here on the Chiefs Report. We do these mailbags every Monday live on the Chiefs Report, so subscribe, join the family. We're here 3 o'clock Central every Monday. You heard the man. Hit that sub button, sub for Chiefs Dubs. Chiefs going to get back on the saddle this week. Cole Keller, shout out to Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker for a 62-yard field goal. That was great. Good to see Butker back. He missed one from 51, but overall thought he kicked the ball well. Do you think Juju comes back for 2023? I'd like to see him back. Maybe you give him a 2-year deal this time. If he has a 1,000-yard season, he's going to garner interest on the open market. So what the Chiefs give him, like $10 million or something? You're probably going to have to give him more like $15 per year if he keeps playing well, which I'd probably be willing to do. 2 years, $30 million? Who says no? J-Jets edits, what is your Chiefs record prediction? 4-2. I said before the season, 12, 13 wins. I'll stick to that. 12-5, 13-4. I mean, the schedule's tough, obviously, but, I still think this is a 12-ish win team. I think they'll be just fine. Achilles Coletta's passed to Hardman more often. He's open on a ton of those plays more than Kelsey, but I get it. Kelsey's Mahomes' security blanket. I don't know if he's open more often than Kelsey, dude. Kelsey's always open. Now, I have noticed Hardman gets open quite a bit. I think from a route running ability standpoint, he's gotten better. He's looking better. He made some big plays this past weekend. He's a guy I'd like to bring back too on a 1-year deal for Kansas City. But we'll see what happens this offseason. But, yeah, I'm down to get Hardman more involved. Had a nice touchdown catch as well, so we'll see what he ends up doing. Hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get on our mailbag. James Scottish Claymores, can we trade for a right tackle? P.S. Real one. Hey, type real one if you're a real one here on the Chiefs Report. You guys know what the deal is. Yes, I'm trying to think of guys you can go get at right tackle. Riley Reef from the Bears, he's not even starting over Larry Borum, who was a fifth-round pick last year. Is he an upgrade over Andrew Wiley? Maybe a slight upgrade. I'm not sure. Other tackle options, who's even out there? Who are you going to go get at right tackle? I'd have to think about it more. I'd like to see Lucas Niang get healthy, but that doesn't seem likely. So you may just roll with Wiley, man. Look, Andrew Wiley has been passable if he's your worst offensive lineman. The problem is at times Orlando Brown hasn't been good, Trey Smith hasn't been good, so you can't have three guys playing below their level. You can have one, but not three. BetUS is the place to go if you want to make some money this football season. I got into sports gambling about 3 or 4 years ago thanks to BetUS, and I've been having a blast ever since. It's fun. It makes the games more exhilarating, especially on games that your teams are not involved in, and go get some money. Get started. Chatsports.com/ChiefsBet. Got to use our link to sign up and then use the promo code Chiefs125. Put down $100. They'll give you $125 for free with that promo code. Betting odds for this week's matchup. Chiefs 3.5-point favorites. The over-under 48 points as Kansas City hits the road to take on San Francisco. Chatsports.com/ChiefsBet. Promo code Chiefs125. Daddy Dayton back with another one. How do you feel about the Vikings this year? Playing some good ball. You got Justin Jefferson. You got Dalvin Cook. Kirk Cousins is hit and miss, but when he's on, he's dangerous. The defense is improved, and they're playing in a weak division. Lions still aren't there. Bears are rebuilding. Packers have taken a step back without Devontae Adams. Looks like Minnesota might run away with the NFC North. Jason R., is Josh Allen better than Mahomes? I'm not ready to say that, no. He's got to prove it in the playoffs. I would still take Mahomes. I think if you polled most GMs, more would say Mahomes than Allen. Now, I don't think it'd be unanimous. I think a few would take Allen over Mahomes. But I also wonder, too, Allen takes a lot more hits by running around. Long term, is he going to be able to last as long doing that? We'll see. They went head-to-head, and I thought Allen played a tick better this week. But at the end of the day, Jason, Patrick Mahomes has proven to be a more clutch player in his career, especially in the postseason. So we'll see what happens moving forward. J-Jet said it's what happened to the Giants this year. They're well coached, man. You go out and get Wink Martindale to run that defense. That's made that defense much more competitive and solid. Brian Dable and former Chiefs quarterbacks coach Mike Kafka running that offense. They're doing a great job scheming things up and keeping it simple for Daniel Jones. They're not letting their quarterback overthink. Saquon's having a bounce back here. They're just really well coached. They're ahead of schedule in that rebuild as well. What'll really be interesting, J-Jets. Let's say the Giants go 11-6. They're 5-1, so 6-5 the rest of the way. That's not crazy to say. 11-6, make the playoff as a wild card team, lose in the first round. Do you keep Daniel Jones or do you go get another quarterback? Going to be really interested to see what the Giants end up doing. Dale Webb Jr., I like Humphrey, but I would like to see Jason Kelce in a Chiefs uniform before he retires. Look, I think it'd be sick if Jason Kelce played here, but you got the best center or maybe the second best in Creed Humphrey behind Jason Kelce. Maybe Kelce's a bit better, but why would the Chiefs stunt Creed Humphrey for a year at center just to bring Jason Kelce to KC with his brother? Plus, Jason Kelce, he's a lifer in Philadelphia. He's not playing anywhere else. I just don't see it. He's going to play this year with Philly, 1 or 2 more years maybe, and then he's going to call it quits. I don't think he's playing in another uniform. Better pizza topping, Chiefs Kingdom. I want to hear it. Type P for pepperoni, S for sausage, or if you have a different pizza topping you prefer, let us know in the comments section. Maybe you're a pineapple fan, and if you are, drop the pineapple emojis. I personally am not a big pineapple on pizza person, but I'm not necessarily against it either. It's just not necessarily my thing. P for pepperoni, S for sausage. Tatum Floyd, what's Brian Burns' contract look like? Do you think we can get him for a second and a fourth? I got to think Carolina wants a first there, man. Young, talented pass rusher who's had success. if I'm the Panthers, he's like the one guy I'm not trying to trade. Like, I got to be blown away with an offer. Now, he would help this front. There's no doubt. He's better than Frank Clark. Like, seriously. Frank Clark played a little better against Buffalo. He continues to be inconsistent, though. I don't think trading for Brian Burns is that realistic. Jason R., will Tyreek come back? I mean, if he does, it's going to be a few years down the road. He signed a brand new contract with Miami, and I don't think the Dolphins are going to trade him anytime soon. So I could see, I said this at the time, I continue to think it because you hear Tyreek talk about the Chiefs, you know, I can't remember which game it was, but at the podium he was saying, yeah, man, I was rooting for my boy Pat and those guys, yada, yada, yada. He misses the Chiefs. Let's just be honest. Now, he had to get his money, and I don't blame him for that, but I could see him at the end of this contract signing like a 2 or 3 year deal and playing more ball at the Chiefs. I really could. He's young enough. He could come back here and finish off his career in Kansas City. All right, hit that subscribe button. Also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HGramNFL. If we didn't get to your questions, hit me up right there. We will answer more questions over there. Sorry if we didn't get to your questions here on the show. At HGramNFL on Twitter, at HGramNFL on Instagram. Give me a follow, slide in the DMs. You can ask me your Chiefs questions. All right, better pizza topping, and then we're going to get out of here. Get some shout-outs here. Guillermo says pepperoni. Bacon from potato, okay. Pineapple from potato as well. Anchovies, sausage from Tony. Ham. I like ham on pizza too. Big ham on pizza guy. Let's get. Nah. Tony says sausage. Bacon from Achilles. We got pepperoni from Terrence. A little split action. So appreciate you guys for chiming in. Thanks to everybody who submitted a question. Thanks to all of our new subscribers. I'm Harrison Graham, like I said, social media at HGramNFL. Hit me up. Give me a follow. Always down to chop up some Chiefs or NFL, college football, whatever questions you got. I am an open book, so hit me up. Shout out producer Trace. We're going to sign off here on the Chiefs Report. We'll see you guys very, very soon with another video.